Module 4 is all about sequencing, and this is a very big module. The teaching one was 2, and yes, there's more to come, but the sequencing really is a big module because here at Wellness Connection, we really understand how much time sequencing takes. You know, we end up going in and teaching a 60-minute thereabouts yoga class, but in order to put together a creative yoga class, that can take us a very, very long time, especially when we are relatively new teachers. It does get quicker as we go along, and of course we can, have 20 established classes and then tweak them a little bit. There's lots of different ways that we can make it more time efficient for ourselves. And really, practice makes it a lot easier. And after a few years of teaching, sometimes if you have an aim in your mind, you are able to go and teach a class without actually writing down the whole sequence, practicing it before. The first time I taught a live yoga class, many, many years ago, I spent an entire weekend putting together one class, and it wasn't that creative, memorizing it, practicing it, memorizing it, demoing. It took me an entire weekend to teach one yoga class. So we really do understand that it is quite a big thing. So there's lots of information in this chapter, and hopefully with practice, it will speed up your sequencing, but also at the same time, make it super creative and a lot of fun, and really give you a lot of tools to market yourself out there as a creative yoga teacher. Okay, we analyze poses, we look at all levels, sequencing, how does that work? Is it possible to do it, or how do we do it the best that we can? We look at creative sequencing in terms of progression. So that's like if you're going to do a certain pose in your sequence, say a warrior 3 pose, can we look at different hamstring stretches that are poses to put into our sequence, and can we see which is the easier one so that we can start with, and then building up to the harder one, and then to warrior 3. Okay, we look at pose category sequencing, and pose category, as I'll explain in depth in the actual session, is really just looking at your big pose categories, your forward bends, your back bends, your twists, your arm balances, and what they have in common, and how we can put those common ideas into our sequences to help us with sequencing. Okay. Same thing here. All right, then we look at general flow sequence, and this is where we get into the actual structure, and you get templates for this. So this is just a general flow class. Laura takes you through the examples on the template of how to build a general flow class and then tweak it later. Okay, then adding more creativity to the actual structure, and all the templates are there for you easily to choose your poses, add creative structure, and teach your class. We go through transitions. There's lots of videos of different transitions, and we give you ideas around how you can link poses, going through each different type of section of transition. So here you'll see positional flow. So that means just how you can do creative flow transitions when you are seated, right? And then we do things like directional flow, so moving in a particular direction, but lots and lots of different transitions. Then, as I said, we do practical sequencing templates. So there's a template on how to analyze poses if you want to do peak pose sequencing. Then there's a flow template, the structure of a flow, which you can see at the bottom there with Laura. There's flow 1, flow 2, flow 3. And then there's a transition template for you to go, oh, I can add in my transitions to my poses. Okay, we also take a look at planning your sequencing to make it really efficient for you as a yoga teacher. First of all, to find out how you want to teach how you want to sequence, right? We're all very, very different. Some of us may want to be super flowy, creative sequences, and others more slow, steady, not too much, moving around the mat. Then we look at how can you plan your sequences for a month or longer even, and keep records of them, how we can modify one class to suit lots of different classes that you might be teaching in that week or in that month to make things more efficient.